The question I get a lot is, Scott, how do I hit my number on Etsy? And let's use an example of $50,000 in the next 12 months. How would you recommend I go about doing that? And is it even possible? And the first thing I will say is, yes, it is possible.
Hey, I wanted to cut in here real quick. I was going through the video and I wanted to make sure that I'm clear. There's no guarantee that you're going to be able to make any money on Etsy or any platform for that matter. But this video is really just to give you the process on something that I would do and I would follow. So I just wanted to be clear on that. So if you're cool with that, keep watching.
And I am going to, I'm going to break down the process. And I'm also going to want you to go through this process with me. So you might want to get a little pen and a little paper handy, because you're going to probably need to do a little bit of math. And if not, you might want to pause the video and write this stuff down and then move on, because really what we're doing here is we're building a business plan, kind of going in the reverse order. So I've said this before, but it's really important when we are starting, no matter if we're starting on Etsy or any business in general, we need to start with the end in mind, at least the end of that goal. So if the goal is $50,000 in the next 12 months, or you want to, let's say, build something that can generate $50,000 in the next 12 months, and I'm talking $50,000 profit, okay? At the end of the day, $50,000 profit. How can we do this? Whether it's digital products, whether it's print-on-demand products, whether it's handmade products, does not matter, because it all is going to come down to the math, all right? So this is your first bit of the homework here, or the bit of the exercise. What is your target? Okay, that's the very first thing. We can't hit the target if we don't know what the target is. So we're going to use $50,000 as my example, okay? So we're going to use that number. So we're sitting down, I'm writing it down on a napkin, and I'm like, $50,000, 12 months, that's what we want to hit. Okay, cool. We already know that we're going to do this on Etsy. We already know that. We already know, I'm going to say, we're going to use print on demand. Okay. We're going to use a print on demand style business. All right. We're going to have physical products. We're going to create designs. We're going to put them on a physical product. The next thing we need to do is we need to calculate, what does that look like on a daily basis? Okay. So we want to calculate the daily numbers. And this is really, really important, because a lot of people, they'll just go, okay, $50,000. Let's start. Let's make some products and we'll just make some profit. No, we want to strategically look and see, how much do we need to generate in daily sales? And a lot of times it's eye-opening. It's actually better than you think to hit these numbers. We got to figure that out. So I already did the math, and it's $137 profit per day. That's the magic number to hit $50,000. And I hope my math is right, because I did it before, and I did it on my phone on the calculator. If I didn't, you guys will probably let me know in the comments. $137, okay, per day, okay, per day. Now, from there, we have to figure out, how are we going to achieve that number, okay? How are we going to achieve the $137? So I did some more math, and I said, let's say that I am going to make, my minimum is going to be $10 profit per item. Okay, so this is where you would want to go into, if you're using Printify, you'd want to go in there and see, what is your hard cost? How much is it costing you for that item? And then from there, you need to also go into, Etsy or whatever platform, and see what the fees are going to be. Now, right now, Everbee has it all built into their tool. That's why I love using Everbee, is they have that tool built right in, where it's a profit calculator. You go in there, you put in what your hard cost is, how much your shipping is, and then it will calculate all the fees for Etsy, and it'll spit out what your net is. So again, if you're not using Everbee, I strongly recommend you try it. You can do that for free if you head on over to brandcreators.com/Everbee. Little shameless plug. Yes, if you go through that link and you sign up for the growth plan, you will buy me a cup of coffee. And I love my coffee. Cold brews are expensive nowadays. Anyway, so that's what we need to do. We need to calculate and see what our profit has to be. So $10 is going to be my example here. And generally speaking, my wife and I, we usually won't sell anything if we're not at least making $10. And a lot of times we're making $15 or $20 or $25 per order. If you're selling one of those large blankets, right? They're like $100. We can generally make $20 to $25 on a blanket like that. So a lot of people are like, well, print on demand, you can't really make that much on profit. You can, and you can charge what you need to charge, but you have to have good designs, good products, and all that stuff, things that we've covered here already on this channel. Let's take $10 profit. That means that we need to generate 14 sales a day. 14 sales a day at $10 profit. Now we can do that with one product, or we can find 3 products and we can spread that out, or we can find 5 products and spread that out. Doesn't really matter how, but at the end of the day, we have to be able to generate 14 sales per day. Okay. So I personally like to do product research beforehand. I like to find products that are in high demand. So this way here, we're able to hit these numbers. All right. And we're also able to bring people into our shop. Another little ninja tip here for you, a little pro tip is you can have products in your shop that don't get a lot of demand, but if you bring the right people into your shop from products that are in demand, you can increase your order value by having people see your other products. Okay. And one way of hitting these numbers and hitting your number is to have more than one product that they can buy at the time of checkout. It's really important because you can go from that $10 from one customer to one customer bought 3 things and now you made $30 off of one customer. Okay. So that's another way that you can really ramp this thing up without having to get just more people to buy. You can have people buy more from that order. Okay. So $10 profit, 14 sales per day. That gives me $140 per day profit. Now, that equals, I did a little math here, $51,100. So $140 a day, okay? 365 days a year is $51,100, okay? So we beat our $50,000 goal. But do you see how we did that? We reversed where we started from, right? You start with your target and then you work backwards. So take this video and go through it, hit your number, like whatever it is, like plug in your number and then figure out those other numbers. And then that is what you need to strive towards. And once you have that number, now it's like, okay, let me go find some products that I can sell that are going to give me that profit. Now, here's the cool thing. Let's say that you're making $20 profit per item. What does that do to how many sales you got to make a day? Cuts it in half. So now 7 sales a day versus 14, it's a little easier to really do, right? But you're like, well, how do I do that? How do I find products that are selling, and making $20 profit? Well, if you're doing handmade, maybe you have products that you can charge more, right? And you got more of a profit margin there. Or maybe you're a digital product and you're able to do a bundle. Or maybe you're print on demand and you're picking products that are going to have more profit, like a blanket, right? Or like a sweatshirt, a high grade sweatshirt. Maybe it's a jacket, maybe it's shoes. You can actually print on shoes, by the way. I don't know if you knew that. All right. So there's ways that you can do it. You just have to be strategic about it. If you're just going to sell stickers and that's your only part of your business, I'm not saying that you can't sell stickers. Sell stickers, bring them into your shop, but then have other things that they can buy that are more expensive. So that is the plan on how to figure out your number and your target and hit that number. And is it possible to do this in the next 12 months? I do believe it is, but I can't say for you personally. So if you have this number, it allows you to work backwards. It allows you to create your plan. And I encourage you to create your plan.